Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV, the only place to be for your pre-match pump-ups. Even though it's pre-season, we don't care. Any excuse to get together and pump you up for the first game of the pre-season, the first time we get to see Frank Ball, the first time we get to see Mohamed Kudus in lily white. I couldn't be more excited. I've got double tenor ladies on today just to make sure there's no leakage. It's such a good day to be alive. And what a panel I've got today. We've got Jimbo, as always. We've got Leo from Tottenham Hotspur, and we've got Mr. Chang from Spurs Diehards. Jimbo, first of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, excellent. Looking forward to today. I'm really excited about this season, Kate.
Good.
I think we're going to have a good season. I think the quad could be on.
It could be. It could be 5. We've got the Super Cup round the corner. It could be 5. Mr. Leo, how are you doing over there in Colorado?
Yes, my homies. A big welcome back from Denver, Colorado. 6:30 in the morning, but we're here to pump up what is going to be another exciting season, my homies. And it starts today, Kate.
Yes. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm sweating and everything. Mr. Chang, how are you feeling today?
I'm feeling exhilarated and honestly just overjoyed to be welcome back to the pre-match pump up here on WeAreTottenhamTV TV. The last time we did something like this was for the Europa League final. It feels like ages ago. But,
Leo, Chang, your mic.
Yeah, it's a bit fat. We're struggling to hear you. You're a little bit fuzzy.
Did you really swear then?
No, I didn't swear. Am I audible now, or am I still muted? Let me just try and work.
It's a little bit fuzzy.
Okay, how about now? Is this a lot better?
Perfect.
Okay, thank you so much for helping me out with that. Yeah, so apologies for that, everybody. I've been trying out my new earphones, but apparently this isn't working. So I'm just going to get rid of this and resort to using my built-in microphone here on my laptop. As I was saying earlier, thank you so much for having me back on We Are Tottenham TV. The last time we did something similar like this was for the Europa League final. It felt like an age ago, but we are back. I cannot wait for today's first ever pre-season friendly against Reading to get underway. And we have lots to discuss, lots to get into. So without further ado, as always, as is customary with you, back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you, Mr. Chang. First of all, can I just ask if everyone can smash a like for Ben and Sim? That would be amazing. They are on live at 2:45 for the watch along this week. Look, there's only one place to start, I think. We've got to get it out of the way. The elephant in the room, Jimbo, Morgan Gibbs-White. Are we going to sign this guy or what? It seems to be dragging on for an absolute lifetime. But
well, I think we'll find out by Monday.
I was going to say rumours are he wants to be sort of sorted by Monday because they're going to Portugal. Do you think it's going to happen, or are we wasting our time? What's your thoughts?
Just before we come on air, they were talking about it on Sky Sports, and they said there's no decision if he's going on Monday yet. But I think that we will know, I would say, by the end of the weekend, one way or another. And you know what? I was so confident it's going to go through, but I'm not so sure now. It's a 50-50 for me.
Wow. We've got hashtag free Morgan Gibbs-White going on here as well from Ryan. Leo, how are you feeling about this? Are you like me? You getting a bit bored of it? Or, I mean, how are you feeling?
Yeah. Kay, I look at the selfish part of me as a fan says, let's get this done right away, of course, because, you just got to look at it from all sides of this. For Spurs, it'd be best to have gotten this deal over the line already. For Nottingham Forest, you know what I mean? They're kind of holding on to whatever type of grasp that they have left on this situation, making it legal. And then the one stuck in the middle is Morgan Gibbs-White. You know what I mean? He's the one that doesn't know where his future is going to lie, whether or not he's going to be going to Portugal with his current team, or whether he's going to be doing something different. So, look, at the end of the day, I think we are going to get Morgan Gibbs-White just because of, paying the money and I guess the contractual obligations that the release clause brings with. But I'm hoping this gets done sooner rather than later for the sake of everybody involved, but more so for the footballer in the situation.
Yeah, I agree. It must be awful for his wife and his family. They're all just waiting, don't know where they're going to be. What about you, Chang? Confident we're going to get him done, and do you see it happening soon?
I am confident we will get our player, but I do also have my reservations as to why that this isn't wrapped up yet. Because if, let's say, just for argument's sake, if there is something in the way and that triggering his release clause isn't as simple and as black and white as it may seem, then I believe that there is some there is something to why the transfer hasn't gone through yet. Something is appearing to be the stumbling block in this purported transfer. And if there ever was one time and one time only for Daniel Levy to finally step up and prove the world that he really is the master at negotiating transfers, then this will be the time. This is the one time for him to really step up and prove to us all that he is a master of negotiations. Hopefully, we will see Morgan Gibbs-White in Lily White. And things actually looking up because if reports are to be believed, Morgan Gibbs-White isn't going to be the last signing. So fingers crossed as well that we get Morgan Gibbs-White over sooner rather than later, so that the other players who are lined up to to join the squad for our prisoner friendly away in Korea gets wrapped up soon. But yeah, I am fairly certain and fairly confident. I think it's only a matter of when rather than will it or won't it. So again, just to echo Senor Diaz's sentiment there, yes, the sooner it's wrapped up, the better. Hopefully, fingers crossed, in the next 24 hours before the Sunday is done. And then we can start planning for the next friendly, which I believe is going to be against Luton Town. So yeah, all the best, Daniel Levy and our negotiators in getting Morgan Gibbs-White in Lily White. And having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it should be a matter of time, but I think if we don't get any joy by sort of middle of next week, maybe we should try looking somewhere else. That's just my view. I was just a bit bored of it. But DJ Samuel coming in with nearly 3 years as a member. So thank you very much. Say we are back. Yes, we are. We're back and better than ever. And talking of back and better than ever, we saw Thomas Frank yesterday, Jimbo, do his first press conference, which from my point of view, I thought he came over brilliantly. I thought he dealt with the press brilliant. I thought he was very, just had a bit of a laugh and a joke. A lot of people saying he's not as charismatic as Ange. I thought he was good to watch. I didn't feel uncomfortable in any way, shape or form. How did you think Thomas Frank did yesterday?
Yeah, he's a different character to Ange. I mean, Ange is, there's always a chance there's going to be a bit of fireworks in there. But I think with Thomas, I don't think he'll always be very calm. I don't think they can push him over the line like they could Ange. So it's gonna be a different type of interviews with Frank. But I used to love Ange's interviews, and I loved it when he got fiery. He's very passionate, but he's a different kind of type of character, very cool and calm. And I don't think things are getting flustered. He's not the type, is he, to start screaming about refs and stuff like that. So it's just different manager, different character. But look, we've got him in, and I think that he's going to be a revelation, Kate, over the next few seasons. I think he's going to really sort us out as a club, but mainly the football.
Yeah. I mean, Leo, obviously, I'm sure you watched it. Is there anything that stood out for you about his interview or anything that he said that stood out for you?
I think ever since the appointment, Tottenham have been doing a lot of things right, in the sense of showing us a bit of the behind the scenes, a bit of the backstage process of what it was for his interview, the first interview, right? And then a lot of us have been kind of waiting for this official first press conference. And I just want to say, my homies, you guys know how adamant and how much I banged on that Ange drum. And I want to say again, just to echo what I said, Tottenham did the best job I think they could do in getting a person like Thomas Frank to literally take over after what was like a rocky season last season. He brings a sense of calmness, a sense of a jokingness about him. You know, there was a question where they mentioned a comment slash question where they mentioned, you know, how many managers that we have sacked, and his tenure at Brentford compared to the time here at Tottenham, and he says, you know, he's all about it, and he's never been sacked. So whatever, he's all up for the challenge basically, and getting sacked at Tottenham. And I thought he played that question off very well. And he's very big on giving the respect where it's due, as opposed to the questions and everything regarding Ange, right? I mean, obviously, it's a huge topic. There's going to be tons of questions from now probably until the end of the season regarding that topic. And he has a proper way of not skiing around the question, but answering it and doing it with, you know, with a bit of style, with a bit of class. He's not, even from the first get-go, he never threw anybody under the bus. He didn't walk into Tottenham like he had a chip on his shoulder, like, I'm here to fix what Ange broke, or I'm here to fix what's broken. I've never gotten that vibe from Thomas Frank. The only thing that I've gotten from Thomas Frank is he's seen the value that these players have, that they can show, and he probably feels that he can get that level and elevate it from some of these players, and bringing in stars like a Morgan Gibbs-White, if that happens, Kudus, that's already happened. The sky is the limit under Thomas Frank. And I don't want to say it wasn't under Ange, because that's a thing of the past, but now with this manager, I honestly feel that we have it going for us. Big up, my homie.
Yeah, I agree. And look at that, 268 in and only 40 likes. Come on, guys, smash the like button, please. Spurs are back. What's not to be happy about? But Chang,
You got sorry, Kate. Can I just add to that? You got to remember as well. Was Leo saying about Akami is that he's come in and he's took over from a European champion, right? That's not an easy gig to follow, you know. And he's come in and I think he's handled himself brilliant so far.
Yeah. Chang, what did you make of his interview? I mean, I was expecting him to be, I know it sounds silly, but I thought he might see a little bit of nerves, you know, a big club, different circumstances, coming in, as Jim says, after winning a European trophy, but he seemed cool as a cucumber to me.
Yeah, I thought he was fairly composed, and he had a spot on answer for every question that was thrown his way. And the way he carried himself, I think, is exactly what we need in getting a proper successor for Big Ange, now that we have ourselves a Champions League season, or rather a campaign, to sort of get underway. So I think more than anything, I think a manager that has the backing of the fans is something that we've been craving for. Big Ange was one that divided opinions, or rather there were mixed opinions about Big Ange, and I think for me, Thomas Frank's first and his only priority right now is to win the fans over, especially those who are still somewhat bitter that Big Ange has gone. And I think there's no better place to start than today. And everything that Thomas Frank said in his press conference today was exactly everything that I needed to hear from him. I have absolutely no doubt that the players themselves are going to be giving him his full backing. And I know this is almost cliche for us Spurs fans to say this, but I really am hoping that we ourselves are going to benefit from this new manager bounce. The cliched old new manager bounce. I really hope that in about a month's time, or slightly, or about 3 weeks from now, on the 13th of August, we will find ourselves lifting yet another silverware in the form of the Super Cup. But not to get ahead ourselves, let's just take one preseason friendly at a time, starting with Reading today. And let's just see whether Big Frank, I'm going to call him Big Frank now. I'm going to call him Big Frank. Let's see if Big Frank is able to walk the talk and give us exciting football. He promised us daring, very engaging and exciting football. So let's just see what he has in store for us. And absolutely looking forward to the match today. Long may Thomas Frank remain in charge as long as the results go his way. And let's just see where he is going to be going in this direction with the team that he has at his disposal. Having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I like that. Big Frank, even though he's so skinny, but we can call him Big Frank, that's fine. Big up Jason Green, who's been a member for 7 months, says, come on, you Spurs. Big up everyone. Let's get a win today. Still only 64 likes, 300 in. Need to smash those likes, please. We've even got Thomas Frank here. Look, hello, please cheer on Tottenham's first game this season. Big up Thomas Frank for joining us. You know, I thought you'd have more important things to do, but hey, what could be more important than this? Jimbo, obviously a lot of people will be excited to see Kudus today. Kudos, wherever you want to say it. Do you think he gets a start today, or will it be coming off the bench? How do you see it panning out?
Well, I hope he gets a start because it would be nice to see him straight away. I mean, look, I'm not even going to try and predict the team, Kate, because it's his first game. We haven't got a clue. All I know is he said Sonny's playing and Romero's playing. But I think I said this on our stream yesterday or the day before, whenever we streamed. I don't think there's certain players he's not going to have to watch too much because he knows what they're capable of. So I think some of the younger players he's going to want to see quite a bit of, and obviously Sonny, see how he performs. But I don't know where even to begin. Like I saw someone saying yesterday they thought Basuma would start, but if he's meant to be going out the door, we don't want to play him too much, do we? So
that kind of brings up the Romero featuring, because you know we've been linked to Zabani for 70 mil, and there's rumours that Romero could be leaving. But I think if he's involved in the pre-season, I don't see him going.
He's not going, Kate. He's staying. He's staying. Look, and people are saying that if we bring the other defender in for 70 mil, that he's going to go. One of the other defenders going to go. We've got to change our way of thinking. We've always thought, you know, one comes in, then obviously for a big money, another one goes out. But we've got to stop thinking like that, because Levy's come out and said he wants to win the Premiership, he wants to win the Champions League. We need competition for places now, like City, like Arsenal, like Liverpool, you know, like Chelsea. If we want to be matching these big boys, we need to bring in competition for places, not backups. Competition for places. You know, where you're off form, right? There's someone who's ready to step in, who's as good as you. Yeah. So that's how we got to start looking. So I'm thinking if they're going to buy another 70 mil defender, it's for a reason. It's not because one's going out. It's because they want that competition.
Thing is, we're also used to not sort of spending that sort of money. That I get what Tottenham fans are saying, but I mean, Leo, are you like Jimbo? Do you think Romero's going to stay? And who are you most looking forward to seeing today?
I think Romero is going to stay. I really feel he's going to stay. If Romero, and this is why I'm going to say that, is I think if he was going to be gone, there was rumors of the Atletico, what was it? The Atletico Madrid links. They should have got him if they really wanted their man, and they didn't go for him. You didn't really hear any rumors about any other clubs that probably can afford or need him. So I kind of think that like it was probably that deal and that deal only. That's what I'm led to hope. You know, as a Spurs fan, I would want a player like Kuti definitely in the locker room. And I know you guys said something about Basuma as well. I'll just say this about all of our players. I won't even say we got rid of some of our players left already. The ones whose contracts have kind of, you know, expired, they're gone. We have gotten rid of a few of them. I think maybe I wouldn't be surprised if you don't see that many outgoings. To just be real, I mean, we could use the depth. Who knows if Thomas Frank is planning this season for these players? You know what I mean? So I'm just going off of the team that we have now is the team that we're probably going to have. If we add a couple of more pieces on there, I'll be ecstatic. I'll be over the moon, as the homies say. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't. Outgoings, I hope we keep them all. I think we could get a better tune out of the majority of these players than we were getting last season, and that's just my opinion. Players like Basuma still have a lot in the tank, still have a lot to offer this team. All of these players in our locker room now are European Cup winners. You know what I mean? They have more prestige to their name. They have more in their locker room. So I know it's just the one trophy, but who knows what that could do for a player like a Rodrigo Bentancur, for a Basuma. We don't know because we've never seen it. You know what I mean? So now with this added silverware, this added weight, maybe more added responsibility or something like that, these players will perform more. We're definitely not going to finish 17th again, my homies. That's what I have to say there. So it's going to be an improvement across the whole board. And I know some people might not want to hear that because some might want to see the back of some of these players, and I understand that. Um, as for today, who am I most excited to see? Um, I love me a Pedro Porro sighting. I love Pedro Porro's vibe. I love his style. You know what I mean? I love his heart that he shows for the club. Um, but
And he's
yeah,
got
I'm gonna be
blonde
happy to
hair.
see Sonny. What was
He's got his
he
blonde
dyed his hair now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
got
yeah, yeah,
white
yeah.
blonde hair. Yeah.
So I'm just excited to see the players back on the pitch, to hear the chants if there's any on the TV, to just be back in the vibe. I'm not expecting for us to go out there and mollywop Reading, or as my dad called them, reading. I'm not really expecting for us to mollywop them. This is an exhibition match. What it is for all of us to see our players dip their toes back into the water, to kind of just splash some water on their face, and it gets the blood pumping. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm just ready for even a Brendan Johnson goal. Let's have it today, my homies. Let's have a little bit of all of it today. Why not?
Exactly that. Exactly that. Chang, I mean, there's a lot of people saying this. Jimbo said it as well. Brendan Johnson playing up front, maybe with the two with Solanke, is how Bellamy tends to play and plays him more of a striker. Anyone particular you're looking forward to seeing? And is there someone you think in particular that Thomas Frank will improve?
Well, there are two players that come to mind. If you ask me who I'm most excited to be seeing today, the first one would be Luka Vuskovic, our young Croatian defender, whom we have yet to see in Lily White. I believe that I saw him in preseason training, as I did see Yang Min Hyuk as well, to name a few other players, as is that new Japanese defender Takai. So these are some of the young promising talent that we have, in addition to Bergval, who absolutely turned us up a notch last season. So for me today, I'll be glad to see either one of Vuskovic, Takai, or Yang Min Hyuk, or better still, all three of them, which I think is going to be a very big possibility, assuming each and every single one of them gets minutes. And as far as where our priorities lie, I think as far as improving players is concerned, I think the one big player which I would love for Thomas Frank to really improve by leaps and bounds to make us something to be reckoned with, that player would be none other than Vicario. If there was one player that really needs his confidence restored to him, and also just his command of his penalty box whenever we are up against set places or set pieces, it would be Vicario. I really do hope that Vicario himself, has something to prove as well, because let's be honest, his confidence, especially when it comes to set pieces, isn't what it was, or rather, it's not what we expect a top goalkeeper to be performing at this level. So yeah, for me, instead, I would love nothing more than for Thomas Frank to really, really, really improve Vicario. And once that is done with, then we can move up the pitch and see where else needs improving. That would be my take for those questions, Miss Kate. Having said that, back to you.
Right. Well, the team is out at last. We have the team. Let's put it up on the screen. Hope everyone can see that. Is there a banner there? Yeah, let's get rid of that. The lineup's just come out, guys, and it is as follows: Vicario in goal. Then we have, oops, I've just opened Spurs play. Pedro Porro, Romero as captain, Danso, Udogi. Then we got Bentancur, Sarr, and Alfie Devine, which will please Brian Daigle. And then Brennan Johnson, Solanke, and Mikey Moore up front. On the bench, we've got Kinski, Austin, Ben Davis, Vuskovic, Phillips, Van der Ven, Spence, Abbott, Basuma, Bergvall, Donnelly, Son, Lancashire, Yang, and Kudus. It won't let me make that any bigger without taking me to Spurs play, unfortunately. Jimbo, what do you think of the lineup?
I'm pleased to see Danso in there. He's obviously wants to look at Sarr, Devine, and Moore, because I think the others are just automatically be in the team. So he's put a few youngsters in, but I don't think they can make as many subs as they like, can't they?
Yes.
So I didn't hear who was on the bench, Kate. But
well, everyone else basically, except there's no Van der Ven. Oh yes, Van der Ven is included on the bench. Pretty much everybody else: Austin, Davis, Vuskovic, Phillips, Van der Ven, Spence, Abbott, Basuma, Bergvall, Donnelly, Son, Lancashire, Yang, Kudos, Kinski. So
yeah, I mean, people like Vicario, Porro, Romero, Bentancur, Johnson, and Solanke. We know what they can do, but it's him making them better, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice. I wish there was a few more youngsters in there, but look, it's a team that should beat Reading. I don't think obviously we want to win. I don't think for Frank it's about winning or losing. It's about him looking
seeing what they can do.
Yeah, what they can do with a win would be nice.
Yeah, Leo, what do you make of that lineup?
I agree with what the homie Jimbo were saying. This lineup for me probably seems like he's just going to field the team to see what we have going. Look, we have strong players on the bench as well. I mean, you look at the whole squad there as a whole. That's a squad right there. You know what I mean? We have our squad there. They're probably not all on the pitch at the same time, but all starters are definitely going to be either on the pitch or on the bench for this one. People in the chat or homies on the panel will tell me, where does Alfie Devine play at in on the pitch? What is his position or preferred position? Would we know?
In the midfield.
I'm curious to know.
Midfield.
Yeah, is he like a central midfielder? Does he go
attacking midfielder? I think.
Right. I'm just trying to see there from those names and trying to see what type of formation are we going. Is that look to you guys like a 4-3-3?
It does to me, yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically all I was really wondering, why I wanted to know where Alfie Devine would slot in, because the back four obviously speaks for itself there. And then this is where I thought it got a little bit foggy there with Bentancur and Sarr and Devine. Are we doing some sort of like a 4-2-3-1 there or 4-3-3? I'm stoked to see Devine. Don't know much about him. A youngster, of course, coming up through the ranks. I do. Yeah, 4-3-3. Thank you, George. Mikey Moore getting some minutes. So we know we're going to have that spark. You see Solanke and Johnson there to add a bit of the experience up top there. My homies, I'm changing what I said earlier. There is a reason why we should be mollywopping Reading now after seeing this team and this lineup. We should be placing some hands on this team. Reading is obviously from the championship or lower than the championship. So not to. Yeah, so I mean, like on paper, we are a more potent team, and obviously they're looking at the lineups there. But yeah, I'm all for it. Let's go. Thomas Frank era begins with a Mikey Moore goal. That's what I'm saying.
Is Richarlison not on the bench?
No, nor's Till, nor's Odebert, nor's Kota Takaida. He's not on the bench. Chang, what do you make of it? And any surprises or anyone you're particularly looking forward to seeing out of that lot?
I think for me, the big surprise is Alfie Devine starting over Bergvall. That I think is the only anomaly in that starting 11. Even more, Mikey Moore starting ahead of Son doesn't surprise me. If this is to be, Son Heung-min's final season with us, which is looking very likely. But I think for me, the only one, I mean, you did mention Richarlison missing from that lineup. But I also noticed one thing: no Archie Gray, no Archie Gray in the
Correct.
subs bench.
Yeah, someone's just put in
As
the chat that he's only just come back. So he's
Okay,
put Teo
good.
and Gray have just come back.
Okay.
And I also noticed that there's no Manor Solomon as well. No Manor Solomon anywhere in that subs bench. So maybe that's telling, but maybe it could be just saving them for Luton Town. We will just have to wait and see. No Kota Takai as well. I guess his debut will have to wait. But other than that, absolutely delighted to see the likes of George Abbott and Ashley Phillips, whom I've almost completely forgotten about. Is back, Ashley Phillips. But yeah, I think that is a very, very strong starting 11. Hopefully, we get a few goals in the first half so that when the wholesale changes are made for the second half, we will have a more relaxed sort of second half and probably maybe a few more goals as well. And absolutely looking forward to the game. Absolutely looking forward to the game. Let's just see whether Romero, who has been named team captain for the day, will he carry on from where he left off against United in the Europa League final. And yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. I think player for player, I think we have squad depth right there. You just look at those names in the subs bench, your Van der Vans, your Sons, your Will Langshire's, Yang Min Hyuk's, Kudus, and Bissouma as well. So yeah, absolutely looking forward to this. And hopefully we don't start our preseason with any injuries or niggles because it's going to be a very long preseason if the fixtures are anything to go by. And absolutely looking forward to the lads really giving us some positivity going to the new season. Having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's quite a brave, and not brave actually, because it's pre-season, but I'm interested to see how Divine does in the 10. As someone said, we've not got no Kulusevski, we've got no Madison. So it'll be interesting to see how Divine does. A lot of people really rate this guy. I've seen bits of him and I think he looks okay, but like a lot of our players, we think they're okay. And then when they step up to the first team, they're not quite cutting it. But it'd be interesting to see how he does. Big up to Mark Derland, who's just become a YouTube member. Thank you very much. There is news as well that Morgan Gibbs-White has started the game today against Monaco for Nottingham Forest, which says to me they're not intending to let him go because if he picks up an injury, it all goes out the window anyway. But that's a whole other story. Jimbo, me and you both.
Can I just interject and say, I'm sorry, can I just interject and say fair play for Morgan Gibbs-White? I mean, to like I said earlier, to be in that freaking position and now look at you having to start for your current club, knowing that you have something else that could possibly be on the side. Again, another reason why if Tottenham get this player, it will only make me feel good about the signing, knowing that they have a good human being, not just like a good footballer. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to get that off of there after hearing that. You know what I mean? Like, because he even showed up to practice and he's been very professional about the whole thing. You know what I mean? So that didn't mean to deter from where we were going. I just wanted to make sure that like
dug his heels in and said you're in breach of contract.
Yeah.
You know, they've met the release clause, but he's done, like you say, he's been a gentleman about it. So I think this.
Well, this tells me he's not coming, Kate.
Yeah, me too. It shows it throws it into doubt a little bit. But you know what? There's that Ardon Jashari, who looks ever such a good player that we might be getting instead. So sorry, I just realised I hadn't put my my laptop on charge. It was just about to die. But Jimbo, me and you, massive Danso fans. Absolutely love this guy.
Yeah.
It's going to be good to see what he does with Romero today. Obviously, with the back four, I think our defence is suddenly looking quite strong. But are you excited to see Danso start today?
Yeah, I think we got one of the best defences in the league, Kate. I mean, our
Hello.
defence. I do. Our defence is phenomenal, and you got Danso. He's like an old school defender, big, strong.
Yeah.
I love him. Who's the guy we're trying to get from Bournemouth?
His name is, I wrote it down because it's Zabarnyi.
Yeah, he's another big, strong, old type defender. Good in the air. Danso's good in the air. When Danso come on in the final for the last 20 minutes, he was absolutely immense. He won everything in the air. He was brilliant. I love defenders like that. Defenders should be defenders. All this tippy-tappy around the box football crap, right? Defenders weren't built for that. It's nice if they can do it, but they were built to defend, get stuck in, strong tackles, win the ball in the air. And we've got some of that now, which I really like. And we've got some good competition for places there now. So, yeah. And what was the other question you said?
No, I said that the back four's looking good, but it'd be nice to see Danso with Romero.
Yeah, it will be, yeah. Yeah, because if we have another hamstring problem with VDV, and then we know... look, I like Dragusin as well. A lot of people are not mad on him, but I like Dragusin. I think he's a decent player, and I think that Frank will improve him. So we've got the two young guys.
Yeah, Dragusin's a different kind of defender, isn't he? From Danso and Romero, he's completely different. But look, we shall see. But obviously, Leo will be pleased that Porro's playing. Sarr is in there, Leo. A lot of people have been saying they would quite like Sarr to be sold this window. I know I've heard a few people say it. What's your thoughts on Papa Mate Sarr?
That's a good question, my homie. I think I see a lot of potential in Pape Sarr. For me, Pape Sarr, and this is a selfish reason. I met him at the team store, so like there's a bit of a sentimental call it a connection, if you will. I mean, I know it was just a vague little thing, you know what I mean? But he took time to like talk to me, and like when I showed him my tattoos, he was like, "Whoa!" Like this, like I could just see his face light up. You know what I mean? So, but if we can get better, or maybe if his career could be progressed somewhere else, and that's just me wanting better for the player. You know what I mean? If it's not going to happen here, then go and get it somewhere else. But I'm a fan of him. He's got an engine on him. The kid could run for days, and he's got. It seems like he's got a heart of gold. Perfect type of player that could fit into the Tottenham mentality. But there is always room for improvement, my homies, and that's just the God honest truth when we're talking about a player like Sarr and even Bentancur. But for Sarr, like, yeah, you're talking about a player that for me probably hasn't reached his full potential, because there's definitely potential there, Kate. But look, I hope he gets quality minutes. If we're having tons of games this season, and if we're going to go deep into these other competitions, these domestic cups, and even the Champions League, we're going to need a player like Sarr to call upon, either to start if there's an injury, or whether to come in the second half when players are tired. You know what I mean? So he's definitely a vital piece in our team if we want him to be.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's an unbelievable athlete, and I think it's difficult as well. It's like a lot of people slagging Solanke off. I think until we see him under Frank, it's hard to judge these players, because I do think Ange's rigid system may have not brought out the best in a lot of these players. But look, we'll see. And Chang, Johnson, Moore, Solanke, where do you see the goals coming from today? Those three, or midfield? Where do you see them coming from?
I really do hope it's going to be Solanke scoring for us, because we really need to see him firing on all cylinders for us this season. I know some fans are still divided with his signing from last summer. So he has been scoring for us, don't get me wrong, but I think he still has a lot to prove. So where's better to start than today? And as far as Johnson is concerned, well, I would love nothing more than to just also carry on from what we were seeing on last season, which would be Johnson again, ole ole. So let's see whether it's going to be Johnson again, ole ole, this season. And I mean, honestly, any one of Bentancur, Sar, even Divine, if they can get on the score sheet, or even Mikey Moore, all the better. And I honestly feel that we have goals from all corners of the pitch, even Poro, Romero, and Denso when it comes to set pieces, possibly even a Udogi goal. You never know. So I don't think it's that big of a worry for me if none of our forwards score today. Although I think that wouldn't be the case. I really am hoping that's not the case. And yeah, for me, I think more than anyone, I think Solanke needs a goal or two. If that's just going to be boosting his confidence, maybe even start to form a sort of understanding and partnership as far as building up that rapport, that understanding with his midfielders. So yeah, for me, if there's one person who really needs to score today, just so he can get his preseason underway and even our goal scoring exploits well underway, that would be Solanke. Having said that, back to you, Miss Kate.
Kate, you got to remember with Solanke last season, I kind of I put in Solanke in last season. I think he did well under the circumstances. He's the type of player that needs service, and he never got the service that he needs last season. He needs crosses in. He's good in the air, strong. So I think this year he'll get that. So I think we're seeing the real Solanke. And I think Sarr needs to buff up a bit. But I think under Frank tutoring him, I think he's going to be an important player for us this year.
Yeah. Look, I just want to say big up to everyone who is coming from all over the world. We've got people with Brazil, we've had Bhutan, we've had Sydney, we've had Virginia, USA, Montreal.
Let's go.
It's absolutely amazing. I love to see where everyone's watching it from, and massive respect to the fans that have to get up at ridiculous o'clock, like Leo getting up at 6:30 to do this pre-match pump up, and sometimes I know Chang gets up in the middle of the night to watch the games. It's amazing. And yeah, we've all missed this chance. There's one thing I miss from you guys is the statement. Back to you, Miss Kate. Agreed. That's what everybody's missed. But yeah, Lazy 8 is here. Big up to you. Says, I've missed the calm and rational assessment and subtle charm of Mr. Chang. The rest of you lot are all right too. Look, we've got someone else in Africa. Absolutely incredible. But before we continue, please do smash a like. We're on 133 likes. We've got nearly 800 in here. So please do smash a like. I'm going to go round starting with Mr. Chang and ask who is going to score today and what you think the score will be, although it's difficult because obviously we've never seen Frank Ball. We've never seen a lot of these players. We don't really know how they're going to play, but let's just do it anyway. Mr. Chang, what's the score going to be against Reading or Reading, as the Moose says? And who's going to score the goals, Mr. Chang?
So I'm trying to break a trend that I brought over from last season. I think I'm going to abandon my 2-1. I'm going to be abandoning my 2-1 for this season. But for now, because I am hoping that we do keep a clean sheet against Reading. Don't get me wrong. I would like to score as many goals as possible in whatever match that we play in pre-season or in a competitive match. But I would take a 2-0 win right now if it were offered to me. Even a scrappy 1-0 win wouldn't be the worst possible start of pre-season, but I think we should be good for a 2-0 win. And I already mentioned Solanke as one of our possible goal scorers. I really do hope he gets on the score sheet. And if I had to pick another player from that starting 11 to also get on a score sheet, it would be none other than Johnson, because despite him scoring our winner against United in the Europa League, and also despite him being our top scorer of last season, hard to believe as it may be, there are still some doubters. who don't think that he is, worthy of that starting 11 berth. So for me, it's going to be Solanke and Johnson, just to shush our haters and doubters. And I will be sticking with my 2-0 prediction, Miss Kate. Having said that, back to you.
Thank you. A lot of people saying there'll be a lot of goals, 4-3, 4-0. We've got 5-1.
I think people have got to forget, Kate, that this is not going to be Ange ball.
Yeah, and Reading haven't lost in their last 3 games. But Leo, what are you fancying for the score today? And who's going to score the goals?
Ooh, let's go. I think we are going to win, right? We will win. It's going to be an ugly game, my homies. It's going to be an ugly game. We're not going to get these perfect triangles yet. We're not going to get these beautiful link ups just yet. I'm assuming. I mean, it is the same players, the same core, just a different philosophy. So I'm still going to go with Spurs, the Spurs to win this one. Let's go 2-1. Let's go 2-1. I think we're going to leak a goal. Like they said, Reading has obviously been a bit hot. You know, who knows how much in form they're going to go. So let's give them a goal. Who's going to score for us? I'm going to go with a piece goal on a corner kick, maybe a Danso or even a Romero goal. And then I think those cheaters from Reading are going to take our players down in the box, and we're going to PK, and that's how we're going to end up winning this one.
Wow, so a penalty as well. Interesting. I am going to go for a little outrageous because, you know, it's the first game back. I'm feeling sassy. I'm going to go for a 4-1 Tottenham win. And I'm going to go for Kudus to score when he comes on. I'm going to go Solanke to get a brace. And I'm going to go Johnson to get the other one. A nice, comfortable 4-1. Thomas Frank on the sidelines doing the running man, waving his arms around, having the best time of his life, and everyone after the game going, this is what we've been waiting for. The quad is on. Jimbo, what do you fancy for today? What's the score going to be, and who is going to score?
I just saw Dragon D's nuts say Frank out. Bloody hell.
I think he's joking. I do think he's joking.
I'm going to go 5-0 Spurs. I think we're going to see some good football today, and that back four is not going to be pushing up so much, and I think he's going to have his ducks in a row already with these players. So 5-0.
Any idea who's going to score those 5?
I'm going to go Solanke 2. I'm going to go Johnson 2, and I'm going to give what's his name, Sarr. I think he'll score a screamer. Wow,
is that because we've been talking about selling him? Is that why?
No, I don't think we should sell Sarr. I'm not one of these ones that think Sarr should go. I think Sarr's could be an important player for us under Frank. But I do think he needs to buff up a bit. I think he needs to get a bit of weights under him, feed him up a bit. He should have a few of your meals that feed him up.
It's a chocolate cake, maybe.
I think that I think that I like Sarr. I do. I think there's a player in there, and I think Frank can bring it out.
Do you think there's any truth in the fact, or a lot of people say Frank's going to be judged by the fact that Ange won his first 10 games pre-season? If it starts off on a loss, do you think there'd be anyone sort of going, see, we should have stuck with Ange, or do you think it'll be just like, oh well, it's only pre-season, let's crack on?
No, Kate. Look, it's a new manager, right? You can't. Every manager's different, and they have different styles. You can't move into a new manager in a new season and have it up against Ange. Ange was a completely different type of manager to him, and we had a great start with Ange, and then it died off. And then the second season, the league form was terrible, but. Look, he's a hero to me, and he'll always be in my heart, and he'll always be in the history books of Tottenham because he won us that European trophy, right? And I don't give a shit what anyone says about you only beat Bodo Glimt and you only beat. We won the trophy, that we was in it and we won it. Doesn't matter who we beat, right? We won the trophy. Look at that parade, what it done for the fans.
Yeah, look at Leo's tat. Look, he's got it on his arm.
Yeah, it's look. I'm getting my one on the 25th.
Hey, we've got
25th, Leo.
we've got Ben here. Ben, how you
Right,
doing?
Ben.
I'm good, mate. Jimbo, there'll be no turning on managers this season.
No, I'm
No.
not. No, I didn't turn on him anyway. I
Yeah,
didn't
you're
turn on
talking to
him.
the wrong spouse, man. You're talking to the wrong spouse.
I was just saying you can't. With the start Frank has, you can't have it up against Ange because it's different managers, different styles. He's got to
100%.
bed himself in, so it's going to be completely different to what we're used to. And I think the fans have got to get that in their heads because a lot of them will still be thinking of Ange ball, which is natural, I suppose. But it's gone now. It's Frank ball now.
Yeah,
Yes,
100%.
Morgan Gibbs-White has started for Forest State against Monaco. I'm seeing that Sim, Chang, and Jimbo are all wearing the same shirt. We didn't get the memo. Clearly, we clearly didn't get the memo. But we're so excited, Ben and Sim. Are you excited for the watch along?
Yeah.
I'm buzzing, man. Frank era is just about to get under the way. Second half kudos as well today. I can't wait to get going. I cannot wait. And big up to Leo, big up to Chang, big up to UK and Jimbo as well.
Score predictions from the brothers.
What's your score predictions?
I'm going to go 4-1 Spurs.
4-1.
That's what I said. Come on. Come on. And
4-2.
4-2. I like the big scores. I'm
excited to see the new, Kudus on the bench.
This is who we are. This is who we are.
Mikey Moore from the start. I'm excited to see him. Divine. There's a lot of things inside. I think it's also interesting the players left out. Apparently, Ali Gold is saying Sullivan's injured, which is why he's not there. Apparently, Richarlison not injury related. So, wonder what that's saying.
Was there any truth to these Palmeiras rumours?
I wonder. Let's hope so. Do you guys? Are you pleased to see Divine get a go as a number 10?
Yeah, I know Brian Daigle's absolutely buzzing.
That's what I
said. Alfie Divine on the pitch. But no, I think he did really well last pre-season, and I think he's had a really good loan spell out in Belgium. So let's see how he goes. I'm a massive fan of Alfie Divine, and not as big as Brian, but I am happy. Yeah,
he was playing 10 below as well.
Yeah.
So maybe he will be in the number 10. I think it's a big pre-season for him as a Tottenham player because we've got so much talent. Donnelly's, there as well. And I don't think they're both going to be in the squad really for next season, if either of them are. So I think it's Divine. If he's going to show that he's going to be a future Tottenham player, I think now's the time really for him.
Yeah, exactly that.
I just said to Ben that the Richarlison rumours are true. Tim Vickery, I was listening to him the other morning early on Talk Sport, and he said that they want him.
Yeah, I mean, if he goes there, that does free up another spot, I think. Well,
World Cup money apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Who said it was a bad idea, right? Look at that.
Exactly. Maybe Vissa will get a look in from Spurs. Maybe we'll go back in for him. Who knows? I'm starting to think.
This is a new Tottenham. The spending power is there.
It's like this, Levy.
We've got that post-Europa glow about us.
It is. It does make you wonder whether Morgan Gibbs-White is actually going to happen now that he started for Forest. I'm starting to think it's not going to happen, but we'll see.
Someone in the chat, Kate, said they made a good point that maybe it's his game where he says goodbye to the fans.
Yeah, but also the way I'm looking at it is Marinakis is such a big shithouse.
Yeah.
Right? Well, I wouldn't put him past him just to put Gibbs-White in the team today. Say you've got to play Gibbs-White just to send a bit of a message to say he's not going. But then tomorrow you'll probably hear it another here we go. I
think the big thing is if on Monday they go to Portugal, if he's on that trip, then I think all of a sudden you start to get a bit worried. I think just because he's starting today, doesn't mean too much, but I think it will be very telling next week.
Let's see what the reaction is from Morgan Gibbs-White at the final whistle.
Yeah, there's the lineup again in case anyone didn't see it. It's all very exciting. I did say at the beginning of the stream, I've got 2 tenor ladies on stage just to make sure there's no leakage with the excitement. I think Jim's got a couple on as well, although he's not saying anything. But look, it should be a brilliant game.
I'm going to be looking out for today. Long throws.
Yes.
Long throws.
Why do you think Kevin Danso's starting today?
Exactly.
That's what I said. I think Danso could be one of the ones that had a good go at that. But look, it's been great to be back. It seems weird me being on We Are Tottenham TV and me being the host with Ben and Sim on. It's a little bit strange. I feel like I'm in a parallel universe, really. But it's been a brilliant first pump up. Thank you to everyone that's watched. We've had some new members as well. We had DJ Samuel, been a member for 35 months, which is incredible. Jason Green, a 7-month member, and Mark Derland as well became a new member. So thank you all very much. I'll just go around and see what's going on with your channels, if I may, before we hand over to Ben and Sim to do the watch along. Chang, what's going on at Diehards? Anything exciting lined up?
Yeah, so probably me, Mr. Stroker, and Mr. Meth, we will be doing a post-match review for Spurs Diehards. Preferably, I think it will be a Sunday evening or a Sunday night. That's one to look out for. And that's all I have currently before the season gets underway. But tomorrow night, preferably around 9 or maybe 10 p.m., that's where me, Mr. Adrian Stroker, and Mr. Ian Meth will be doing our post-match review of our first pre-season match against Reading. Having said that, thank you so very much, Miss Kate, for having me. And can I just also say what a pleasure and honor it is to be finally being able to share the screen with you, Mr. Ben and Simeon Daniel.
Big up to you, Chang. Big up
It's
to
always
you.
lovely having you on, Chang, always. Leo, what's going on in Colorado over at Mile High Hotspur?
Yeah, so over on the Mile High Hotspur, of course, I'm just like every other Tottenham fan, just eagerly waiting for the season to start. And so on my channel, I'm going to continue doing the same stuff. The match day from here at the pub in Denver to just showcase what it's like being an American Tottenham Hotspur fan, especially at all times of the day where we have to sometimes skip work to go watch the games at the pub, and even wake up very early on the weekends to go watch it. So that's all we do on the channel. I also do some stuff with my local team. And that's what we'll be doing. And I do want to say big up to the big homies that decided to join us today, Ben and Sim. Sim, I will say I appreciate and I respect so much how you were on the Ange train, my homie. I was on the train from afar. Don't get that wrong. Like I was banging the drum right along there with you, bro, until they were about to kick us off that damn train.
Until the train was about to crash. But it never did go on. It got to its destination. Let's go.
It did. At the end, we all got off of that train, winners, and on to bigger things this season. So that's right, my homie. Let's go. Let's go. I got this one here too. Let's go.
Oh wow! What a tattoo! That is class.
Go.
Come on.
By the time Jimbo and I do next week's, me and Jim are both having a Europa League tattoo done on Friday, so we'll be the unveiling next week.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
It'll just be Chang left pump up. There we go.
Leo, thank you very much for coming on. Make sure
Chang's too young. He hasn't got his ID's too young. He can't have one done.
Yeah, Chang's too little. Jimbo, what's going on at Kate and Jimbo?
Kate, do you know what? I haven't got a clue. I'm just a gimp. I just follow you, so you tell them because I haven't got a ditch.
Jimbo, she doesn't have a clue. That's why she asked you.
Exactly. No idea. No idea. I'm actually on Chris Cowling's tonight at 6 o'clock after the match for the instant match reaction, which will be good fun. And then I'm on Savage show tomorrow night at 7:30 for the Spurs review, and we're back Monday lunchtime. We're always Monday to Friday as often as we can, 12:30. You'll find us. Nothing too serious. We like to have a laugh. It's pretty much like George and Mildred, if anyone remembers that. It's just we talk a bit of Spurs as well. We're like the odd couple. So make sure you do.
I do know one I'm doing, the pump up on Wednesday.
Saturday?
Yeah,
a week in a week's time.
All right, Saturday.
You can do pump up on Wednesday if you want.
Pump up the week.
That's why I shouldn't talk.
No. Big up to Matthew Collins, who's become a YouTube member. It's the Ange tattoo is what I'm getting on Friday. There's going to be a little hats off to Ange involved in my tattoo, because I did say if we won the Europa League, I would get an Ange tattoo. So there is a theme which I will unveil. What's that? Yeah, Sabo, exactly. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. That's the difference. But look,
a tattoo saying it's who we are, mate.
Exactly that, Ben. That's exactly what he's going to say. That's exactly what he's going to say. It's all designed and ready. So Jimbo and I will be doing the grand unveiling next Saturday. But look, thank you to everyone who's watched, who's liked, who's become a member, who's already a member. And Ben and Sim, thank you for letting us host the pump ups again this year. It's an absolute honor.
Thank you guys. Yeah, thank you guys so much for hosting the pump ups. Thanks for the regular guests as well, Chang, Leo. Hope to see a lot more of you this season as well. And yeah, we'll be on the watch long very, very soon. Hope to see many of you on the post match fan show as well.
Yeah, but looking
Exactly
forward to
that.
pump ups. It's going to be a great season. You did a great job last year, and I'm sure it's going to be even better this year.
You know what? You guys had probably one of the hardest tasks in the world last season, trying to pump up. There was nothing to pump up, but this year is going to be made a lot easier for you guys.
It is. I feel so pumped already for this season. And obviously when you've got people like Chang and Leo coming on, it makes you feel even better. So look, stay where you are, everyone. What is it? 9 minutes. You will join. You'll be able to join Ben and Sim for the watch along. Have a fantastic day. Enjoy the match. And as always, guys, come on, you Spurs.
Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs!